Paintsville is a rural town in eastern Kentucky with a population of roughly 4,000 people. It's home to country music legends such as Chris Stapleton and Loretta Lynn, and it's an area with a rich culture and history. While underestimated, Paintsville has a lot of areas to explore and a lot of things to offer, so let's take a look at some of them. Paintsville Lake State Park provides multiple recreational opportunities for residents and tourists to enjoy. Some of the most prominent and favorite activities at the lake include fishing, swimming, camping, volleyball, and walking on the Kiwanis Trail. Along with all the other recreational opportunities the park has to offer, the Mountain Home Place is also located in the area, which is a recreation of an old-timey rural community. It includes models of buildings like a blacksmith shop, one-room schoolhouse, and barn. For anyone living in the area, Paintsville Lake State Park is a staple for some summer fun with friends and family. In the last decade or so, city officials have made a tremendous effort to revitalize Paintsville's downtown area, and it's paid off. In downtown Paintsville, you'll find numerous antique shops, small businesses, great restaurants, and historical sites. From Tuesdays and Thursdays Antique Shop and Linda's Restaurant to Mayo Methodist Church, downtown Paintsville has so much to offer.
My favorite part of living in Paintsville is the close-knit community that we have. The culture and the community that we have here in Paintsville is one that's based on pride and love of the mountains, love of the music, and our heritage. Regardless of where we come from, we are all one Kentucky.
The US 23 Country Music Highway Museum is a museum that has exhibits for the multiple music legends that were born in the area, such as Loretta Lynn, Chris Stapleton, Dwight Yoakam, and the Judds. The museum has 14 exhibits in total, each showing mementos from each country music star. Along with the exhibits, the museum also allows for people to rent out space for events. Without the town of Van Lear all those years ago, the Paintsville we know today would not exist. The once booming coal town is now memorialized in the Van Lear Historical Society's Coal Miners Museum.
Well, as far as the area goes, the coal mine in the area was called Consolidated Coal Company, and from the Webb's Grocery, which was the number 5 commissary, from that back down the road towards Paintsville was all owned by the coal company. So if you worked for the coal mine and you lived in their house, you shopped at their store, you paid rent to them, their electric bills came from them.
The museum houses various exhibits with Van Lear, coal mining, and country music memorabilia. This area is home to numerous successful musicians, but none quite compare to Miss Loretta Lynn herself.
Hi, I'm Abe Webb, and I'm doing the Butcher Hollow tour with Loretta Lynn's home place. This is the home place where Loretta Lynn's born. This is not Nashville, this is Kentucky. And this is the original home. So let's take a tour. So these were the Butchers. Now, in Loretta Lynn's mom's side, they were part of Cherokee Indian, and they were butchers. Now, in the 1890s, they built this home, and the Butchers were building it, and that's why it's called Butcher Holler. And over here, this is great grandmother and father Webb, and you know what? They lived in Butcher Holler. Now this says do not touch. These were great grandma Claire's cabinets.
Butcher Holler and Webb's Grocery have been staples of Paintsville tourism and culture for decades now.
My grandfather bought that store in 1975. I was born in 1975, so I grew up there right behind the counter of that store. My grandmother ran the store for many years. Now that both of them have passed away, my mom and her sister owns the store. But as far as that store goes, that store was like a mini Walmart back in the day. You could buy anything there from food to horse feed to animal feed, furniture, anything that you could buy at Walmart, you could buy at that store.
The Appalachian culture of Kentucky would be absolutely nothing like it is today if it weren't for little towns like Paintsville. Even though we're a small community, we are always improving and looking forward to the future without forgetting our past and where we came from. Without our ancestors establishing the culture that we know and love today, there would be no Kentucky. And because of them, there's only one Kentucky.
There's only one Kentucky.
There's only one Kentucky.
There's only one Kentucky.
And as you know, there's only one Kentucky.
There's only one Kentucky.
There's only one Kentucky. There's only one Kentucky.
There's only one Kentucky.